I'm here because I am a roaring lion crying out righteousness. Mr. Engineer, let's go to video clip number 1 where former Trump Chief of Staff John Kelly said some pretty sharp things against Trump. And this was stimulated by the fact that Trump made a statement about retired General Mark Milley, that he is a traitor and he should be executed. And now General John Kelly says he can't hold back any longer. He's one of Trump's longest serving chief of staff and has some pretty damaging things to say about Trump. Let that clip roll. Let's see if we got a better sound on this one.
The president has had so many former top aides making such harsh public assessments. Most recently, Cassidy Hutchinson.
I think that Donald Trump is the most grave threat that we will face to our democracy in our lifetime and potentially in American history.
She joins a growing chorus.
I think he's unfit for office.
He will always put his own interests and gratifying his own ego ahead of everything else.
Thank you.
And today, Trump's longest-serving former chief of staff, John Kelly, is chiming in with his harshest criticism yet. In an exclusive statement to CNN, Kelly says about Trump, "What can I add that has not already been said?" Calling President Trump, quote, "a person that has no idea what America stands for and has no idea what America is all about." For the first time ever, Kelly sets the record straight with on-the-record confirmation of a number of damning details about Donald Trump from background sources, including from a 2020 Atlantic story reported with unnamed sources by editor-in-chief Jeffrey Goldberg, including the stunning detail that Trump turned to Kelly on Memorial Day at Arlington National Cemetery in 2017 and asked, "I don't get it. What was in it for them?" This is Kelly confirming on the record.
Mr. Pause if necessary. At the cemetery there, that piece you just heard about Trump turning to John Kelly, who's his chief of staff, and also a decorated general in the Marine Corps. Trump says of those soldiers that were buried in that cemetery, that he didn't get it, that what was in it for them. That baffles me because Trump is no dummy. Everybody knows he's very transactional. That is to say, you do something for him, he'll do something for you. You don't do something for him, he won't do anything for you. But to say that those soldiers died in vain, it smacks of him saying, I don't understand why would you want to serve America, defend our Constitution, defend our way of life, and if it means that you die for that, that will be, because that's what's in it for those soldiers. They're defending. The fact that Trump actually did make that statement, I believe that he did, it smacks of the fact that maybe he doesn't understand loyalty at perhaps a level where he's very confused about loyalty. He expects people to be loyal to him, but cannot understand why anybody would be loyal enough to America to die for America. We're looking at the servant of Satan. And yesterday I asked Trump to give us 7 springs, and I called him the servant of Satan, and he is. Go ahead, Ms. Cindy. Let's hear some more of this.
Stories of Trump insulting Senator John McCain and former President George H.W. Bush, because in Vietnam and in World War II, respectively, the former aviators were shot down. Kelly describes Trump as, quote, a person that thinks those who defend their country in uniform, or are shot down, or seriously wounded in combat, or spend years being tortured as POWs, are all, quote, suckers, because, quote, there is nothing in it for them. A person that did not want to be seen in the presence of military amputees because, quote, it doesn't look good for me. A person that demonstrated open contempt for a Gold Star family.
Another item that Trump did not want to be, and that's true, I believe that as well in terms of reporting, that Trump did not want to be seen in the presence of amputees, people that have lost their arms or their legs in battle, because he thought that it wasn't a good look for him. we are in a period of time, and a person, of course, who is the servant of Satan, and until these people in the news or political realm begin to identify that he has been prophesied in the Bible to be, well, the tribulation itself has been prophesied, and Trump is, if you will, the trigger of that, we'll never go and understand why the conditions are as they are. And I would probably prefer to say that that's not going to happen, because if it did, people would turn around and repent. But go ahead, Ms. Cindy, let's hear more.
Gold Star families on TV during the 2016 campaign, and rants that our most precious heroes who gave their lives in America's defense are, quote, losers and wouldn't visit their graves in France. Kelly confirming on the record a story reported in the book The Divider, where Trump tells Kelly he wants a military parade, like one he saw for Bastille Day in France, except he does not want any wounded veterans. Kelly confirming that Trump in 2018 in France refused to visit graves of Americans killed in World War I. To CNN, Kelly calls Trump a hypocrite, saying he is, quote, not truthful regarding his position on the protection of unborn life, on women, on minorities, on evangelical Christians, on Jews, on working men and women. And he concludes Trump is, quote, a person that has nothing but contempt for our democratic institutions, our Constitution, and the rule of law. He concludes, there is nothing more that can be said. God help us.
He's doing a great job as Chief of Staff.
A stunning repudiation by a man who worked side by side with Trump longer than any other of Trump's many chiefs of staff. Kelly also criticized Trump for saying that former Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman General Mark Milley should be executed. In a departure speech on Friday, Milley responded,
we don't take an oath to a king or a queen or to a tyrant or a dictator, and we don't take an oath to a wannabe dictator.
Some of the people who know Donald Trump the best now warning of the threat they think he poses if elected in November 2024. Now, CNN reached out to the Trump campaign Monday afternoon, telling officials at the campaign that a former administration official had confirmed on the record a number of the details about the 2020 Atlantic magazine story. We did not name John Kelly, but we wanted to seek comment about the substance of that story. The Trump campaign responded with a statement insulting the character and credibility of retired Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman General Mark Milley, who had nothing to do with the story. The Trump campaign also issued a statement insulting me, saying I should, quote, stop peddling fake news from shady sources, unquote, which would be relevant, except the news is quite real and the source is quite impeccable.
I got a couple other clips I'm going to show you, and with respect to the time in which we're in the tribulation, and we've never experienced anything like this. To have seen Trump sitting at the court, at the lawyer's table in New York Civil Court on the third floor here at 62nd Street in New York City yesterday was a real defaming scene for the presidency of the United States of America. That he is no longer the president and now is in many ways, an indicted, if you will, criminal with enough cases to keep him busy for the next 500 years of his life.